folks, I have a really cool video to share with you today. It serves kind of two purposes. The first one is I'm trying out the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0, and also I want to share with you a really cool, I spent the day going through the levees of the San Joaquin Valley, some of them, and going over some of the, doing some footage of all the train bridges and different drawbridges that spanned the Sacramento River and some of the parts of the deltas. And this is one piece of that video from the day. It's a bridge called the Mossdale Crossing, and I used to fish here as a kid. Underneath, we used to catch, throw out a bobber line and catch perch and bluegill. And anyway, I figured I start my trip with this bridge here that is no longer operational as far as the horizontal leaf that goes up and down, but trains still do pass over this bridge daily. UP trains I see all the time, freight trains going through here, and it's in Lathrop, California. Interesting, this is not a history lesson on the bridge because I am not a historian. I will link a cool description, a cool link in the description down below, if that makes sense. I'll put a link in the description down below that has some really good information on the history of this bridge. But one cool note is that it was the final structure to link the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans across the U.S., originally built in September 8th of 1869. This is the third version of that bridge. How incredible is that? Look at it as I fly over, man. Rust and grit and age and texture and bird poop. But all the things that make a great train bridge, man. Cables that sway in the wind and just really cool footage. And I did, stop a couple times. I didn't fly straight, and get orbits around the top because there were birds up there, and pigeons seem to be the most angry when you fly a drone, so I don't crashing into the water. But look, as we fly over all these cables and these towers on this bridge, that vertical or that horizontal piece would raise up. Cables went around these pulleys up there in the top. And I'm not going to say that I've never climbed to the top of that, but I'm not going to say that I haven't climbed to the top either. Back in my day, I certainly got a good vantage point from that bridge. Really spooky, really high. But it's just a really neat place to visit. And I used to fish under that bridge, man. It was really cool. It's a little bit different now, and there's some residential to the to the side of it and stuff. But it's a really neat place that I remember from my childhood. But at any rate, let's go ahead and kind of come down here. Like I said, I didn't get a full orbit of this vertical piece because there were birds flying around, and this was only my second flight with the Phantom 4. I didn't want to crash it just yet. Give me another flight or two and we'll work on it. But I do have to say, speaking on the Phantom 4, really, that Pro 2.0 is really a nice drone, stepping up from the Mavic Air 2. Each has a different goods and bads, but the sensor on this drone is incredible. A 1-inch sensor, really, really great video and still image quality. That being said, I often wonder when I see that spray paint up there, that fed up, if they actually paint, well, it's not spray paint, but if they painted that when that counterweight was all the way down, or if they really climbed to the top of that tower from the stairs that are on the other side or from the ladders from that counterweight and painted it. I don't know. It's been there for a long, long time. I don't know that I would climb all the way up there just to paint fed up on there. But at any rate, look at the cool part of this bridge. And I've been to this part, and I've climbed up those steps over there, and I've gotten on this platform. And how cool would this job have been to be the guy pushing and pulling the levers and engaging the drive shafts. Look, you can see the levers and the hand levers, being able to work this bridge. How cool is that, man? It's just, you've got the steps up there on the side. You can see the cables and the pulleys and the gears. The graffiti, there's a Coke can and some beer. Did not leave those there, but this is a really cool bridge, and it sits out there. Trains go across it every day. We used to call it, twin bridges, because the bridges just to the left of it are two green bridges, and they no longer operate either. They were drawbridges, but it's a really cool area, and this is a pretty, spot. Like I said, I remember, as a child going out there and fishing and camping under this bridge. But I figured I would revisit this as one of my first stops on the day's adventure that took me through some levee towns and video footage of some other really cool out there, you know, crossing the Sacramento on some of these levees, man. Really cool. And look at this whole spools of cable right here. I'm going to position the drone around. And, you know, this drone does have a little bit more of a problem with the calibration as far as metal, you know, being next to it. The calibration of it, it kind of has, it seems to have a little bit of a problem at times. It will tell me that my calibration is off because of all this makeup. But I disregarded that message and, you know, got in closer here for a nice shot of these spool gears and all this old cable. Now, I don't know when this bridge quit being used, you know, quit being functional as far as raising up and down. But, you know, all these cables and all these gears and things remain from whenever they were put there until now, you know, and it's really cool. Look at that hand lever there on the left. You could push and pull that in, man. And, you know, there's two levers there, a couple gearboxes, some drive lines, you know, to keep those cable wheels synced so they could turn at the same time. Look at that, man. Just super incredible, full of old history and texture and rust. All the things that make a good day of exploration, you know. And what a fun time. You can see the shadow of my drone ground as well. But what a cool view to be able to go here with, see my drone up in the upper left corner on the concrete. You can see the shadow. But what a cool way to be able to view this old train bridge and appreciate all the, you know, design and function that it had as this big piece of iron would raise up and down. That horizontal piece would go, you know, vertically up and down like an elevator, and trains would go across it when it was down, and boats would go across it when it was up. Really neat, man. You know, it just, you let your imagination go back to the time when this type of thing was you know, active. And I wonder if it was one guy or two guys that sat up there. I wonder if there was ever a house up there, if it was just always open air like that, and you would just sit up there on your chair and you would operate those levers. Who knows? You know, it would be kind of, I didn't see any like bolts coming up out of the ground where, you know, walls or anything would, you know, attach to that concrete and there'd be some type of operator's quarters there. I didn't see that, but maybe there was. I don't know. It's kind of weird if it didn't have that and it was just right up there in the open, and you know, just sat out there on a bar stool opening the bridge all day. Who knows, man? I wasn't there. So let me just make it up as I go. But look at that view. Those are the tracks, and like I say, those are still functional. That's going back toward the 205, and we'll climb up here. Yeah, looking back that way, that'll take you to the 205, and that's 5 south to the left of the frame there, and it'll take you back to the 205. But those tracks stretch all the way back out there, man. And like I say, UP still rides on those tracks daily. I've seen clear view of the tracks going back toward, you know, I-5 south. And, you know, there was so much farmland out there. Now so much of it is being sold in for concrete warehouses. You know, once you take the farmlands away and trade them for concrete, you don't get the farmlands back. But that's a whole nother subject. But it's really still a pretty area with agriculture, alfalfa and corn and all kinds of stuff around this area. You know, we'll fly over this. How cool is that? Look at that view, man. Look at those wheels down there, those wheelhouses and stuff, and you can see the tracks down below, you know. And like I say, trains go across there every day. That's actually the Mossdale Crossing Park. It's a regional park. I think it's a regional park. And people launch their boats there daily. And there was another part of this structure, a wooden part just before, but it's since been gone. I appreciate you guys watching the video with me. Hope you found some value in it. Like and subscribe to the channel, please. Send me your comments. I appreciate it. I love making these little videos and chatting with you guys, talking about drones, talking about photography, talking about old steel bridges, and just exploring and having a good time, man. Like I say, also check the description for links on the history to this bridge, and I'll also put some Amazon affiliate links down there if you happen to want to pick up the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0. You guys take care, man. Appreciate it.